Somebody sense motive that, I guess.
Roth will pass that free. Long story short is
Well, yeah, if it's your sense motive, you guess that he picked up what everyone was putting down, which is pretty much he
you're
feels
on your
that
own.
everyone made their excuses when it
Yeah.
was his turn to do something that he wanted to do. Everyone had excuses not to do it, but he, as far as he is concerned, he never made any excuses for what everybody else wanted to do. And so now he's like, "Fuck you guys." He went off on this, especially for Lucian, because Lucian like said that he would, and then he gave an excuse.
Lucian
And
got
now
no
he's,
bullets. I ain't got no
now he's like,
bullets.
nah. Now he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it
Let
my
me
own way.
let me make some bullets, sir. give me give me 5 minutes to make some bullets.
But when he slammed the door, Roth would well, hold up. I feel like I got robbed. I was still talking. So before you slammed the door, because there was a moment where you didn't actually even talk to me. You was looking at this chick, lady. So I'm
No, I
assuming
was,
I was
while you
still
were
able to.
talking is when I said he. When you started talking is when he looked at you, narrowed his eyes, and folded his arms.
Oh, so he started. So
Yeah,
basically, I was still talking, said what I
yeah,
said, and
right.
then you did that.
Like, like when I interrupted you is when he physically did what he did.
Damn, son. All right, so then I feel like as if you walked
Unless
out.
you're gonna physically stop him from walking out, if you're gonna reach out and grab him. But if you're just talking, that's what he did while you're talking.
Roth ain't grabbing you.
Oh, okay. So
He
then,
knows where you're going.
right.
One, two. I mean, you look stronger now. I don't know about just grabbing you, bro. Two. I don't know. I think I grabbed you once, and he already learned that lesson. He grabbed you when we were gonna save Braun, so he ain't playing that game no more with you.
Right.
You sick some demons on him. He's like, nah, bro. So I got that to remember. And two, um, well, three at this point. I feel like we know where you're going. One, Roth knows where you're going. Probably he won't know anymore once you cross over, which he fears. But then
I know
that's
where
it.
you're going. I
And
just need to
then
make bullets.
If there's
two,
mad people here who could track, you guys will be fine.
not in the far realm. We could track here
Ah,
on this L. We can't track in the
Right.
farm realm. I'd be on my own. I think the only way I think it still works if I enter the same plane as you, but if we're on two different planes, it stops working. I think.
now it's still on this plane.
Wait, what?
The cerebral blot, all that is still considered on this plane.
Hmm.
Wait, confirm that with Lewis, because if that's true, then I'm not sweating it.
Yeah, it is.
So I would still be able to use the curse to track him.
Mm-hmm. We don't change dimensions. We don't change planes. It's the same plane.
Okay. All right, if that's the case then. When you dip, Roth says, well, time's ticking. Do you could finish no. He would probably at that point blurt out like how long it would take you to get back to that location. So that's like a survival check. He'd probably tell you like you have about such and such days for him to get there on foot by himself. He'd be giving y'all like the rundown real quick on basically how long y'all guys got to do y'all crafting. And at that point, after telling whoever's around to hear that, Roth will.
It's back to the 6 level sheets now.
He'll probably. I don't think he's gonna follow you. I think he's gonna go back to the mausoleum, or because he could probably still catch up to you way before you get there, unless you like teleport. So he probably gonna go to the mausoleum first and probably finish grabbing some things for himself too. Since now he also is gonna have to like he ain't gonna let you leave by yourself.
I think the only problem you guys will have with tracking me is when he starts flying on Pale Lady. That's probably the only time you have a problem tracking him. But he doesn't fly for that long. So
Yeah, I'm not worried about you flying. I'm worried about you getting ambushed and killed by yourself out there in those woods. Actually, that's probably the only thing he's worried about because even still, as strong as we are or were, because we're going back to 6 level sheets. Personally, I feel like if any of us got caught out there by ourselves, we might have some issues, bro.
Yeah,
So he's probably
for
gonna
sure.
try to like guess. He's trying to guesstimate how long it'll take you to get back to those woods, and then meet you there. I don't think he's gonna just like neglect to like he's not gonna let 3 weeks go by. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, I think Sophia would have did something to him.
Nah, he didn't say shit about Roth leaving before when we were in the woods with the lizard folk.
No, I'm talking about when if Adler got up and
Trying to make niggas consistent.
left with Pale Lady from the table.
He thought he had to go pee and had to go be he had to
I
he was
mean,
in too
she
embarrassed.
could.
What did he
I
say? What was
mean,
the excuse? I forget.
somebody wants to roll Sophilia's
He
sense
said
motive
something random. I was like, what? Okay.
What does she have?
+9.
Roll. Fuck it.
And she might miss. Yeah, she might misjudge. His departure. Possible. No, she did not. She is very aware of what he's fucking planning.
Mm. Sure, +9. Okay.
What's that?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to miss folded arms,
Well,
a
Roth said what he said
scowl, and
already.
a slammed
Roth said
door.
what it was. He says
Right.
time is ticking. Like the
I
boy
mean,
is
you
leaving.
can if you lack common sense and
Yeah, that's a lot of common sense. Somebody's like,
like
they walk out and slam the door. I'm like, maybe that person's bad.
Nah, this
That
dude
person's
said,
somebody
"Wow,
with
he's
no
gonna go out and have a great day."
somebody with wisdom of 9 and no skill at all and like a sense motive would be like, huh, I wonder what his problem is. Like just
wow.
flat out, just like that. Like I don't know what his deal.
Damn.
I don't know. I wonder what his deal is.
Missed
Anyway,
it
Damn.
completely. Anyway,
right,
man, this game is
exactly.
awesome. right,
But
right.
for
That's wild.
Sophia, yeah, her wisdom's 9, but she did train in sense motive. So
I would hope
she
so.
she's trained
She
herself
gonna kill a party member and think she's the
like
good guy.
she's self-aware
Like she
of
the
her
hero.
lack of her below average intuition and her and
Mm.
her sense of surroundings. So she's trained herself to be especially at being a paladin. She's like, okay, well, I need to be able to read not just people but just anything in
Right.
general. Like I need to be able to understand what that beholder is thinking.
Right. I can't just walk around
Right,
spamming. I can't walk
right.
around spamming detect evil the whole
And I
time and
can't,
expect that to work.
I need to be able to, I need to, yeah, I need to be able to know when somebody's deceiving me because I can detect
Mhm.
evil, sure, but I can't detect lies, at least not yet. But,
Right.
but,
Roth can.
Roth can, but, Roth's not there 24/7. And if somebody comes up on Sophia and it makes a fucking bluff plus
And
15 on
and
her,
he can detect evil.
imagine a paladin getting fucking lied to left and right. It's like, oh, yeah, sure, let's go. What?
Mm.
You're the prince of so and so, and
You're
you
gonna
need
see two eyes. No, you're gonna see two sets of eyes staring back at you from the fucking background. Like nigga, you don't want this problem, bro. Put it back. Make it right.
So people
Like,
be like,
dude,
"Oh, really? You forgot your keys to the door? Oh, I'll help you get in."
damn, he like the landlord, bro. Just letting in these niggas.
Nah, she
Wow, room
nah.
207? Wow, okay, I'll let you in.
Right.
Murder, bro.
Yeah, she don't want to.
yeah,
She
son.
don't want a paladin responsible for some shit like that. So she put ranks in it.
Wow, he was a felon? He was a nice guy when I met him. Tight, bro. That's
Yeah.
so annoying, bro. You hate to see it. Well,
Um.
listen,
Okay,
like
so
I
she's
said,
fully
time's ticking,
aware.
so
So she goes. I mean, she would say he would ask. He would obviously with that 25. She obviously sensed what was about to happen. So she asked Adler. She goes,
oh, before he leaves?
yeah. As he's walking out, she goes, Adela, I'd hate to think you're about to do something that could jeopardize your safety. And if we consider ourselves, if we're going to be considering ourselves not just an adventuring group, but also as friends, then as a friend, I would like to let you know that I'm just as concerned and curious about the cerebrotic blot. But at the
Oh
strength
yeah.
we're at now, I don't think it'd be entirely wise thing to do. We have training to get to at least do. We also
Well,
have our
prove it.
situation with the Ebon Triad cult and the Age of Worms, which I thought that was your focus. It seems that this cerebrotic blot really has you transfixed. Is there, since as you say it'll always be there, is there really a rush to go there?
Yes, there is, because it's what I want. And if you were so concerned about our friendship, more specifically my safety, then where's Cullen?
We've all still been looking for him.
It's like,
No, Pale Lady's been looking for him.
I have two.
You guys just got back. This is
Lucian,
the first day
Lucian
back from
is
Dex.
Don't you, why are you talking out of character to? But let him use his. He's not reasonable right now. He's upset.
Oh, I thought I was just making
His
sure you
character.
weren't
Lucian said
confused
Lucian
Stay in
spoke
as
up.
to the
character.
time
Spoke up.
period of this.
Lewis is about
Stay
to
in
go into
character.
DM character and throw
Nah,
that hammer down.
stay in
Yo, the
character.
blot closed. The shit is not there anymore.
The
I
blot's
don't know yet. I'm
gone.
still going.
No, I just want to make sure there's no confusion as to like.
Oh no, it's not me confused. Out of character, I'm aware,
Okay.
but in
Nah,
Oh,
Matt
character,
knows what he's doing, bro.
in character,
This is the
This is
Adler is
hold on, hold
gonna
on.
use
he's
shit
Hold on,
he's
hold on,
to
hold on.
choosing he's choosing
I'm
to
only I'm
really
only
use
saying this
that
because
chaotic neutral today.
we're kind of
Adler's gonna say how he feels, and how he
okay. I'm
feels
only
is this.
saying this because
He's like,
because
no.
when it
So
comes
then where's
when it
wait,
comes to
let me go character. What? So where's Cullen?
I hope y'all niggas got something to drink because this is spicy.
Cullen is still out there. His safety is in hand. You made a promise.
something's clearly happened to Cullen that none of us are sure of, other than from what Lucian had told us about some mysterious guy in a top hat.
Forever, man.
I don't want to
I'm
accept
scared.
that.
I was like, damn, I
That's
missed
not
that
what you
part too.
promised me.
So, considering Cullen and his gang's activities, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else had gotten to him before we did.
That's not what you
Don't-
promised me.
Wait,
Oh,
We throwing assumptions out there now, dude.
hold on. Damn.
No, she's just
Why is it
she's
that? Why
offering
is it
she's
that?
offering the probability of that, and that's probably why everybody. And she says that's probably why all of us here are having issues exactly finding out where him and Merovin and like and she names like the whole crew, like where any of them are at.
And when she says that, you see Adler put his hand on a table and sweep it across the table and knock everything off of the table onto the ground. And he just stares at Ophelia, pissed off.
I wish Luda was there.
Why are you gonna do all this when Charlotte's not even here?
She
What?
gave you the
I
runaround.
wasn't going to do this.
Sophia gave you the runaround,
I
bro.
wasn't going to do this, but Ophelia engaged
Speak,
me.
I'll get him.
I'm not giving her a runaround.
I was going to walk out.
She's being honest with it.
Yeah,
She's
that
being
wasn't the right.
that paladin honest.
So that's all. He just throws everything off of the table onto the ground. He's just staring at Ophelia.
Roth says,
Listen, weren't they hired by Balabar before? I know he probably doesn't want anything to do with Balabar, but that's another
Yeah, when she
possibility.
says Balabar, he turns the table over. Just have to mention that Balabar's name.
Oh shit!
So she goes.
Somebody stop this man.
I
She
guess
goes-
she just got low ass wisdom. You forgot how much I hate Balabar.
right.
He does have a wisdom of 9, right?
You just
So
reminded him about Balabar. That Balabar is still alive and free
Adelar's about to
because
Adelar's about to change
so that
alignment in
so
this
that
whole
I,
after
I'm
he
tight. He
turns the
conversation.
got.
table over,
I'm tight. He got away too.
he points to Sophia. He goes,
Well,
"You know what? I just remembered. If I would have killed Balabar, but you insisted that we arrested him, and then he did exactly what we thought he would do. And he paid his way out, and he's free still, isn't he? So then, where's Balabar?
you know what? From what we've learned, it's very possible he's in the very place we should be heading to soon.
Possible. Well, you know
He,
what? I don't care about possibilities.
he's probably in Waterdeep.
I care about things that are certain, and I know for certain now where the blot is, and I'm going there because it's certainly there.
Don't make me have
And
to
I'm
think.
not waiting for you to find Cullen anymore, and I'm not waiting for you to find Balabar anymore. I'm not waiting on anyone. I don't have to wait anymore.
Adler, this blot that you're very. She doesn't want to say obsessed. Trying to
She
find the right
would say
word.
obsessed though.
Yeah, but I gotta play her fucking high ass diplomacy. She's gonna want to use words that are not aggressive
Triggering.
and yeah,
Yo, I'm about to call
triggering.
Paterno.
Right. She's trying not to trigger him any further than he already is right now.
I'm about to call Paterno. Get your monkey ass
She
here.
goes,
Get your Saiyan monkeys
the cerebrotic blot that you're so
My man
keenly
went
interested
Frieza for
in.
no reason.
We're all very aware that it's of it, thanks to your knowledge that it has the practically direct connection to this far realm, this place that
That's beautiful, transcendental.
Roth asks, "Is there undead in the far realm?"
is that how you see the far
No.
realm?
What do you mean how I see? That's how it is.
There's no undead. Oh,
By
okay,
its
never mind
very
then.
nature, it is beyond what we know.
I'm sure there are you and some others that may feel that way, but for the majority of us, it's not something that should naturally
Roth
be a
Roth
part of
looks at
this
Lucian.
reality. It's something that my personal reason for wanting to investigate it is to shut it down.
Oh yeah, then maybe you should start with the cult of the lovers. But no,
Whoa,
you haven't
whoa,
put
whoa,
your
whoa.
face. You haven't put your face in a book to tie those two connections together yet, have you? You're too busy telling me to wait on this and wait on that. Adler always has to wait.
This is
Adler
the first
always
time
has to
Roth
sit back
is
and wait for everyone and help everyone with their things.
Roth is
But I asked for
cringing.
one thing. And the thing that I asked for didn't even exist until we found it. And now that we found it, I'm forced to wait while it exists. That makes no sense. And I won't do it. By my very nature, I was built to explore. I was built to see. And I will go and I will see. And that's fine if none of you want to go, because it was made for my eyes only anyway. I just thought I would share something with you that I thought was beautiful.
Isn't this a place that not even the gods dare tread upon?
As if I ever cared about the gods. As if the gods ever cared about me. The gods only care
Shit.
about you.
Do you not think all this might be due to a corruption of the far realm on your minds? Would it be
No,
even
because I don't
best for
spend
you
my
to?
time thinking. I spend my time doing. And that's what I'm going to do.
Damn, Roth don't really see a good point for him to jump in, but
No, this is. I think this is not your combat zone.
Roth says, Lucian, Luna, how long do you need?
I don't think Luna's there.
She's
Oh,
not.
he's
no.
there.
Lucian, how long do you need?
Oh, she's there. Oh shit! What the fuck?
That's
Oh,
what
I
I'm
thought
saying.
she
This was
wasn't
the
there.
first night back in
Yeah.
Daggerford.
Oh,
We're
the
all
first
just
night
happy.
Nobody is
back.
level
Yeah.
7. Nobody's training. Luna
Yeah.
made one item when
I don't
she
have
got
no
back,
book.
and like the group gathered
Uh,
at night to chill at the
You can't make
fucking
the.
I don't
dining
She
even
can't
table.
have.
make. The problem is she can't make the item until she's level 7. That's the issue.
Oh,
Can't
well,
make
there you
anything until
go.
she's level
So
7.
she was doing other shit like looking for scrolls and whatnot. And
Yeah,
it's not until the next day she talked to Delphin anyway. So
but that's also
whenever we've done downtime, we've done a lot of jumping back and forth because we got to line up everybody's
here's
shit with when
yeah.
they're doing it and at what point during the downtime it happens. Because
Okay,
otherwise, otherwise there's an incontinuity happening.
Continuity, yeah.
so here's the problem, because if she's there, she would go with Adelar. But that's the problem. If she does go to Adelar, then that conversation with Delphis doesn't happen.
Okay, it doesn't happen. It's gonna happen later.
No, well, no, it would
Hold on.
happen. It would happen because I mean, unless Adler's like, I'm gonna leave tonight in the middle of the night, but like,
Well,
I think he
yeah.
was.
Why?
Yeah, no.
He
He's
was.
Devin.
but
He's leaving. Once he
How
realized that he's not gonna
Ross
have to
said what he
spend any
said.
time
How
crafting.
long do y'all need?
So
Keep it in character. How long do
okay,
y'all
as
need? He asked Luna and Lucian because y'all the two
Luna
that
looks
seems
at
like y'all need resources somewhere
Luna
else
looks
other
at
than
Yeah.
in your
Luna looks
pockets
at
right now.
she looks
Yeah.
at Adelar, and then she looks at Sophia, and Sophia clearly has her mind made up. She looks at Adelar and she goes, "Would it
He's with it. All right. How about you,
would it
Lucian?
would it be easier if
I need
I'm
5 days,
interested?"
4 days.
She goes, "I'm interested too, and I don't need as many resources now than I did before. So let's go."
Right. Why are we waiting?
Oh, I absolutely need
I feel like
bullets.
it's not
I,
fair because he wouldn't have to be so angry if Luna would have said that earlier. But she didn't know she was even here, so you probably wouldn't have gotten that mad had you had someone on your side.
It
But
It
guys,
is
is.
I
what it is, man.
It
It is
is
what
a
it is.
retcon for sure. He wouldn't have been as upset if he didn't feel alone.
Like I feel like Luna's sitting there in the corner quiet this entire time just to say, "Yeah, I'll go."
thought she was
Is getting me
there.
tight. You let this man get
Yeah,
that,
no,
man. Before
I didn't realize she was. Actually, no, that makes sense.
that should get
Maybe
me
she
tight.
was. Maybe she
Rob
was.
look at you
Hold
like,
on. That makes sense to me that it changes it, because she would want Sophia to take the charge here, and she realizes that Sophia is
all right,
losing this argument,
and
and she
you,
would
Right.
make that,
Lucian,
and
how
she would
long
make
do
that
you need?
sacrifice.
2, 3 days.
I ain't gonna fly, bro. Can you do that shit on the go?
No, no, I can't.
I would
Oh
say
shit! All
So
right.
Ophelia would realize. All right, so she would add in this clearly. Clearly, the situation is clearly. There won't be a changing of the minds here, so it wouldn't be in good conscience to not also agree to go along and make sure at least everyone here that's going comes back alive.
Zyla, he
But
shoves both fists in the air. He goes, "Yes!
but
Finally, I get something I want."
but I request a small compromise that our experiences we take our experiences and we use the resources that we have here in town and at least make ourselves a little at least a little better, if not
Level
a
7.
whole not a whole level better before we go.
My man wanted to say it, wanted to say it, but not say it, but ended up saying it anyway.
This is some,
Oh,
this
Yeah.
is some
another
bullshit. This is some
level.
bullshit.
Can
Well,
we
so,
just be
well,
a level better than we are
well,
now?
Sophia, if I agree, but you gotta promise me that you're not going to change your mind later. You gotta promise on your promise that your promise is true.
I will
No
promise.
tricks this
I
time.
will promise, and I will inform my superior that, who I'm pretty sure will agree with me on investigating the cerebrotic blot for obviously obviously for our creed at the Mystic Fire, which is to make sure what kind of effects the blot may have on the weave and the world before us. And we will have to hold off on going to Waterdeep. However, I do not want this to be a suicide mission either. If things become extremely dangerous, I will lead whoever is willing to go back, turn back around. But we won't know how dangerous it'll be until we go and explore it for ourselves then.
Yes,
So
okay.
Adler's going there without his muleback cords.
So he,
Yes.
yeah.
He's going without everything.
Wait, he
I
thought he
like-
was alone? Yeah, because
I
at
don't-
that point, if everyone was against the idea that's something that his entire like being is geared towards, then the muleback cords is inconsequential at that moment. I lost all my friends. I might as well just go by myself.
And Luna
But
did
it,
say
you know,
she was going to go with him.
right. But now things are different. So all right. So that
This is interesting, bro.
when
I-
when Sophia says that, Ada goes okay, and so he puts his hand out and he goes okay. I'm gonna go to Sorcerer and Capsule. There's a lot of research I need to do. Well, I don't need to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'll give you guys enough time.
Why are you facing?
What the fuck is it?
Wait.
Yo!
Wait.
This is great. I love this.
Nah. Hold on a second.
What is
3 days.
Wait a second. Hold on a minute,
Wait, what do you
my
say?
nigga.
You said 3 days.
How you giving us time now to prepare? What is fucking happening right now? Hold on
What
a
do you mean?
minute. You went from I'm going to I'm gonna go research first now, and I'm
No,
gonna give you a 3D.
he has mad. I mean, it's just knowledge to gain. I mean, he was gonna go without that knowledge, but now that he has
Wait.
to wait for you guys, I might as well
No.
go and research.
Hold on a minute, bro. How the fuck? Wait, you was gonna lead us to a place you had no knowledge about?
Well, actually, I do have knowledge about it. I have a journal for it.
Nah.
He mentioned it in
Is
character.
that
already.
practical knowledge? Like, is that shit? Is like, are we going on a quest with no map?
Well, you're
Like,
the one you're following a madman into a space that has that's the
Oh,
far
man,
realm that's
into a mad
encroaching.
space.
So I mean, none of it makes sense
This
really.
whole thing
But
is
yes,
maddening.
yeah, like that's what you're doing. You see the physical book. He showed it to you. The journal that tells you about it is in his hands. But he's saying that if he's forced to wait for you guys to like do what you got to do, and everybody has to basically gain their level, he's gonna go to the guild, Sorcerer and Capsule, and that's gonna account for basically him leveling up. Because when I level up, I have to put up all my skills. So he's gonna be there researching and studying. That's gonna account for his level 7, and everybody else is gonna do what they're accounting for their level 7, and then
Alright,
we're all
well,
prepared. We can leave.
as he's researching and stuff, he's realizing himself it's going to take a little more than 3 days, and that he is on the cusp of releasing a new level of magic, which I'm sure probably intrigues him enough to
Right,
want
probably
to
will get
stay
distracted.
to stay and master it, which will then be the 2 weeks that the
Right,
group fucking needs to begin with.
fair enough. I could see that quite easily because he gets distracted very easily. So
Um,
I'm gonna chalk this up to your alignment. I think it's brilliant. It literally almost made me fucking have an aneurysm. But I didn't know. I didn't. Bravo, bro.
it's not a
Bravo.
it's not a fun alignment for DMs either. So
Lewis is trying.
I gotta play him impulsive, man.
Lewis
Gotta
is
play
out
him
of game. Lewis is out of game. Like, I got to get this nigga from not wanting to go to this place. I'm trying every day. I don't want this nigga to do this.
I mean, I should have been better prepared. I
No excuses, bro. Let's keep going. We got 2 hours.
well, 2 hours are gonna have to get cut short because I don't have it prepared. I have it in scribbles and notes,
Oh, okay.
but I
All
don't
right.
have it.
Well, all right. So time. Well, time. We'll retcon. We'll retcon that. Do what we do have. But it happened, so he got what he want. Right?
Nah, there's probably some rolls that have to be rolled, like random encounters and shit. So
No,
it's
I
about
have.
probably
Oh yeah,
something like
yeah. There's encounters. There's. Yeah, I need to. It's a trek.
that. Yeah,
All right.
this
So the
side
session's
quest is
over.
have
Like, what
to
you
go
saying, man?
on.
Like,
It's a
It's
side
gonna
quest.
it's gonna give us some XP if we go.
I need to go in the workshop and
Uh,
hammer this out.
you got Lewis to do the
yeah,
thing that I've been wanting him to do with Conundrum, but he did it like
Well,
yeah,
little
Conundrum.
but
one session, bro.
it
Conundrum.
still took the chaotic neutral alignment to get it done.
So
Zed
was.
is
So
CN.
is that.
Zed is CN.
Oh,
Yeah, it still took chaotic neutral.
Conundrum was sandbox. I didn't have shit prepared. I was just pulling random shit from everywhere because I didn't have a plan.
That's what I'm saying. You.
This one
Oh,
is
so you're
this.
saying
I'm saying
you still have a plan for this?
I'm saying with Age of Worms I want to do 1 through 12. But the characters are introducing these side fucking tracks. Then you got to give me time to do the side track. That's the draw. That's the
That's fair.
drawback. That's
That's
always
fair.
been the. It was like that with. It was the same with Shackle City. Like I had there was several side tracks I had to do with that fucking group. So
That's
Listen,
you
fair.
you
know.
get to work your creative juices. I just hope that it doesn't
Yo,
distract
let's
you
go.
too long
Hey,
from the
hey
main
Lou.
shit.
Hey Lou. I put it to you this way. You always said that
I don't want it to, but
you wish Adler was in a different quest and that he was in the wrong quest. Take this as an
he
opportunity to
is.
put a little smidge of the
He should have
ideas you
talked
have.
you out of it, honestly. I should have been like, no, there's an adventure path in Pathfinder where it's all fucking Cthulhu, Lovecraftian shit. A whole thick
Mm,
ass fucking adventures. Put that motherfucker in there. I don't want this
Yo.
motherfucker at Age of Worms. I should have said that to begin with. But
damn,
Now,
son.
now you can take this opportunity to put the little smidge of that in here. Just a little bit for Addy. And then that's good enough, bro. That's good enough, baby. Good. You can roll forward with the rest that you got planned. You just a little sliver.
he
Little
just
sliver
wants a
of it.
cerebrotic blot.
Bro,
Um.
This man's
I
a
want more than
terrorist. This
that.
man's a
Okay.
terrorist,
So
bro.
Yo, Lou,
This
so
man's a
Lou,
so
terrorist. You hear him now?
Lou.
You hear him
Now
now?
that
You're
you
already planning future side quests, bro. It's
now
over for
that
you
you
now.
now
You
that
yielded once. Oh, it's GG's for
now that you
you.
got the time, Lou. Now that you got the time, bro.
honestly this
I
is the
want you
biggest.
to go take I want you to go take some mushrooms before you put this together.
Said some
I want
mushrooms.
the most mind-boggling experience possible. Just for this little sliver.
This motherfucker hit you with the get out fucking
I
T
know
fucking
I know
like
everybody else. I
Bro.
know
hit
everybody
you
else
with
is
the
like.
Jordan Peele son.
I know everybody else is like shit.
My
Extra
nigga in
XP,
a gen get
extra
you right
XP.
now,
Let's
nigga.
go.
Yeah, they care about the XP, but I
They're
want to
like
see
extra
some
XP.
crazy
Listen, don't get me
shit.
wrong. Matthew is excited for a side quest. Roth is like, what the fuck is happening right now, bro? Roth
Ro-
is like,
Roth, at first question, is there undead? Adam's like, no. Okay, fuck it.
All right. I mean,
I was trying to find ways to get Roth on your side, bro. I was like, how much
there is
time
a
do we
couple.
need?
There is a few more things I could do here
I was
before that.
trying, bro.
Do that tonight?
I would say the next day, yeah, the whole thing with Luna happened. So now Luna, I'm sure is conflicted. Like,
Yeah.
although in Luna's situation, going to the Laughing Hollow, it's not that far in comparison to the Lizard. I mean, well, I'd say it's about the same distance
This is not as
from.
dangerous.
Right.
It's
It's
not
yeah. It's
crazy.
not as dangerous. It's got its dangers, but it's not Lizard Marsh slash Far Realm dangerous level kind of shit. I mean, she's lived there. Um, you know, there's magical creatures there. There's wildlife, and there's fey creatures. A lot of different fey creatures. So it's more it's a wild area, not so
Does
much
that mean she's gonna
it
need an
can be
escort
can
going
be
there?
dangerous, but
So she can't go there solo then. So since she can't go there solo,
Seventh
you know,
level,
she
seventh
I
level Luna
mean
probably could go.
Luna could, but you know, she's aware that there are dangers to look out for. So if she goes with people, it would make the
Yeah.
trek easier.
She got snatched up
A-
when she was by
Plus,
herself when she was
plus,
young. She had
plus,
PTSD trying to run around by herself.
Addie,
yeah.
Addie would go with her.
Plus, she would need somebody that knows their way around the land. 'Cause
So what she would do is
she's not a
she'd
ranger or
tell the group
survivalist or anything like that.
what she would do. She'd tell the group, and if they didn't decide not to go, she'd ask Delphin reluctantly.
Addie and Pale Lady would agree to go.
She would hope
Because
that Adelar would go.
yeah.
Why wouldn't Sophelia go? Like,
Ophelia would go. Ophelia would definitely go.
I don't see anyone not
Because
going for
Ophelia,
anyone, to be honest. Any
Ophelia,
side quest, really.
Ophelia was also in the
Yeah.
Laughing Hollow. In her situation, that was rare. When she ran away from Daggerford when it got attacked and her mother was kidnapped and all that, and she ran in fear. She ran towards the west, not the west, towards the east. Um, there was already an attack on the. Actually, I gotta check my dates on that. But there was, the Daggerfords had to deal with, devil attacks before. They've had to deal with other shit, and so like when that happened to her mother, she thought, oh shit, it's another attack on the city, and she's like, she all she could think of was like trying to get as far away as she can. Um, her mother having been kidnapped, her father already dead, and she ended up in the Laughing Hollow, and she was rescued. She ended up in Laughing Hollow, and she passed out there from exhaustion and lack of food and water. Well, more like lack of food than water. He uh, she was found. She was found by some fey creatures, and she lived amongst them. And she even had visited the Fey realm, or Feywild, for at least a little bit. But at least in her situation, it felt like a little bit. It was like, a few months. Came back out, motherfuckers was like, oh, it's been a few years. Like,
Damn.
uh, so she's like, excuse me. Now, while she was in the Laughing Hollow, she did meet with Luna. I don't know if I typed this out. Did I ever say this? I thought I did. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure I typed it in WhatsApp. I believe I typed it in WhatsApp a long time ago, unless I just wrote it, unless I had this whole scenario in my fucking head. But he had met Luna when they were, before she ended up in the Feywild for like, mysteriously disappeared for a few years. She had met Luna, and that was when they first really bonded. Because to Luna, it was, she sees this girl and she's like, who are you? And she's never really like socialized with anybody before. And Sophia's very sociable, and they talked and they hung out, and um, yeah, Luna grew fond. They had grown fond of each other, and when Sophia had said, I'll see you, I'll see you tomorrow, freaking Sophia never fucking showed up. So
She
Luna's
has
like,
trust issues.
so Luna's like, the fuck, like, wonder what happened to her? Why didn't she show up? Da, 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 da. And that was because she ended up in the Feywild and disappeared for fucking few years, but it was only a few months to her. Um,
Oh wow.
and then when she came back from the Laughing Hollow, she was discovered by um by a woman who's just pretty much sponsored Sophia and like um pretty much paid for everything that she needed back at home. Like she didn't know who this woman was. She just said, "Listen, I'm just a benefactor of yours. I know your parents. Don't worry. I'll take care of you." Uh, uh, AKA it was Nijama in disguise who had been searching for her, and then after Shackled City was done, um, she went back to uh she had came up here because she knew she knew that what's her name had a daughter. So she's like, well, I need to find her. I still think she's alive. And she found out from the people like what had happened, that she ran off, and basically Lee Drama's been searching for her, and then she found her at the Laughing Hollow and took her back, and sponsor her, kind of like what's that book called? uh, the Great Expectations. Pip, where he had that mysterious sponsor that was just paying for everything for him.
Mysterious sponsor.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, you find out at the end of the book who it was, but like, um, but yeah, it's the same situation with Sophia, like this mysterious person that she never knew or met, but just knows her parents was like, you'll be taken care of. What do you want to do? And Sophia just made it. She made it. She made her call. She's like, I want to, um, I want to be a paladin. So she wants to join the paladinhood. That's what happened. Um, so Sophia has been to Laughing Hollow also, and she's made friends there with some of the Fey creatures, um, especially the ones that rescued her. Um, with that, I don't have a huge thing with that. I mean, I'm gonna, yeah, obviously there's gonna be some role play encounters and other, a couple of things here or there, but it's not like a huge thing like with the fucking cerebrotic blot situation. um,
Wait, is the session over? Because you're talking like really
Yeah,
like
you gotta prepare.
well, no, yeah, I wanted to. Well, yeah, I got to prepare for the cerebrotic blot thing, but I also wanted to know what was happening with Luna and going back to her cottage. And since everyone's, most, I don't know if everyone, but at least I'm gonna assume everyone, um, is like, yeah, sure, we'll escort you to Laughing Hollow and go and go check out what's at the cottage and come back to Daggerford. That's a much easier and safer trip than like the whole cerebrotic block thing. Um, I guess we can do that one first. Um, definitely for next week.
mm,
So I would definitely would need Pachardo there. Um, it's
he don't gotta
interesting.
be there.
It's interesting Adler's gonna go because there was a situation where it was like either it was just gonna be her and Sophia, or if it was gonna be the whole group. The whole group's going. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for Adler because you'll see.
Like Luna
Um.
would want Adelar to go.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
she wants she wants him to
No,
go.
that might change the. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to do this next week. So I definitely want Machado to be there. This thing with what Luna is going to cover could. Damn. You, you'll
Stop
see.
trying to spoil.
I'm not. I know. I'm trying not to.
Like we're
You'll see.
excited.
You'll
I'm just
see.
disappointed. Session's over 2 hours early on my day off. That's all. You can't help that. That's just GG's. I'm tight.
Hey man, show up next week. The preparation is going to be spicy. That means we got 2 side quests of Lou's own creation. This motherfucker could do whatever he want from scratch. It's gonna be
Right.
fun. It's gonna
Right.
be fun. Not that the quest isn't fun to begin with, but it's just there's something to be said, man. I think that a good full like adventure path, a little bit of like fucking side quest sprinkled on top, perfectly fine. It happens in video games all the time, baby. I
I'm gonna
can't
let you
wait.
have this one. I'm gonna
Oh,
let you have this
I
one.
can't wait.
with Roth.
It's
Uh,
okay. You don't gotta do nothing for me.
no, no. I had something that Helnora. She meets up with him about five
Yeah, I
days.
forgot about this.
About 5 days later. Because obviously, the next second day you guys got back, Roth went to, well, even that same night after they had their meeting, he went to that's when Mythnor was like, oh, Halnor is going to be in
Right.
town in the next few days.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember that
so from
combo.
when he said that, it was like 4 days later she shows up. Shows up and um he meets with him, at the Daggerford graveyard, as Roth's. Actually, no, she meets up with him at the animal affiliation. And from
Okay.
there, he takes a break from training with Mocktra so that they can go elsewhere and discuss things privately. And she asks Roth like pretty much a report on everything that's happened. um, everything that's important to involving, the Age of Worms and the Ebon Triad and what happened to the Lizard Marsh and pretty much all the details and information that the Church of Kalimbo would need so that
Yeah.
she can do is go out there and spread the word to like other clerics and inquisitors or whatnot.
Spread the word. I see what
Yeah,
you did there.
yeah, spread the word and um, make
The
sure that
good gospel.
other members know about the situation with this cult and the Age of Worms and to look out for these spawn report. She's going to tell them the same thing, like let me report back to me, and then she relays whatever she learns, she relays to Roth. And
Okay.
one thing she starts to tell Roth, she's like, there is something important that I need to tell you that I've learned of. um
Hmm.
he goes, so after the Rage of Dragons, when Faerun had to deal with the sudden appearance of the King Killer star in the night sky, which caused all the dragons around the world to enter a maddening primal descent of their mentality as if they were beasts, causing havoc and chaos throughout the realms. One in particular, unfortunately, had had destroyed a village located
The whole village? Damn.
whole village, and then on top of that had raised some of the village's undead creatures. It was done by from what reports say it was done by a shadow dragon from the Underdark.
Oh, is Skirny or
That's
Skirny,
a
whatever his name
problem,
is
son.
Skinny Eye. You know what I'm talking
Um, I should have wrote this down. Did I write this down? Shadow
A
dragon.
shadow dragon, son. That's a problem, bro. That's not a
Um,
lightweight at all.
what's the name of that town? Fucking hell. Where's my map? That's what I need.
That is not a lightweight.
about.
All I need is the name of this damn town. Uh, where is that located? Rounds. Um. Oh, okay. I know exactly where to look. It's got to be in here. Okay. That it? Mm, no. Mm, no, that's not it. I know it's in this book. Oh, no. What's the name of it? All right, I gotta forget the name of town, but it's the name of a town that's in the Dilimbyr Vale.
The Delimbire Vale?
Yes, this map here. Are you guys on this map? Let me check. I think you are.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at Forlorn Hills right now on Iron Road.
What about now?
Now I'm looking at
Oh,
the
okay.
Limbire.
Oh, okay. All right. So this orange circle is Daggerford. Number 20 over here is Laughing Hollow. So as you can see, it's not too far from Daggerford. It's about the same
Mm-hmm.
distance as where you guys were from the Lizard Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so up here, he says in the northern reaches of the Forlorn Hills. Is it number 25? No, it's not number 25. Was it 23? No. Okay, it's not on this map
Mm-hmm.
because as awesome as the maps are in Forgotten Realms, they're all over the fucking place. Like you'll have a map for real. You'll have a map of like the Sword Coast region, but it's different from another map of the Sword Coast region that was made on another product, and you'll see settlements or sites on that map that's not on the other map. And then you'll see a third fucking map somewhere else of a region in fucking like of like we'll say Neverwinter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you'll see shit on there that you're not gonna see on the other two maps. It's all over the place. That's why that's my biggest gripe with the Forgotten Realms maps is like I have a map of the Daggerford region, but it's not just one map. I've got like
Yeah.
I've got like
The
I've got like
material
three or
has
four
existed.
different maps. Yeah.
The
So
material
like
has existed for so long that everyone has their own interpretation with different details
right, right.
about it. Yeah.
They'll add. You'll have you'll have an artist. Huh? What?
So basically, it's like playing Overwatch right now, but you don't got the most recent patch.
What?
So you got like all these bugs and exploits still running in your version of the game.
It's a little worse. It's like playing Overwatch, but Overwatch 2 is out. So Overwatch 1 has so many different versions, each with like their own attention to detail in one specific area, but not the other. So it's like he could get a map of like this and it'll show maybe the same overarching layout, but more detail in this than in another map. So it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of a pain in the ass. So it's like, all right, if I want the most detail, I have to find like
gotta get the
this,
latest version.
find the versions created by different people and put it all together. You have to basically go on like a little search because
We're
Mm,
everyone,
still
it may be
talking.
like 20 maps like about the same, but focus on the same region, but with different levels of like detail.
focus. Detail. Yeah.
That's just a
That's
byproduct
why he has
of
so many
material
maps,
being
but
out for so long. Yeah.
sadly.
There it is. That's the name.
Oh,
Uluven. Uluven. That's the name of the fucking map.
Lulen.
Oh, I might have
Never
that
heard
map
of
on.
it.
I might have that map on here. So I know I put like three different maps in here, probably. Yeah, I did. So like, here's one map, right?
Okay.
Okay. So then like that region. So this map over here is that region where I had the orange circle.
Mhm.
Um, it's like more zoomed in, and you see like more. You see a lot more sites on here that you don't see on
Yeah.
the other map. So it's like more
Mm-hmm.
detailed. And now down here, this map, and then they're drawn and then they're drawn differently too. Like you'll be like, wait, the Forlorn Hills are more northeast, but on this map they're more to the they're more north by northeast, and then on this map they're more west. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's been annoying. And then what made it worse was the transition from second edition to third edition was
Mm-hmm.
when they did third edition Forgotten Realms, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a terrible fucking mistake on their part. But instead of just making like an upgraded version of the second edition map, they truncated the a lot of places from the second edition map and the third. Like they made it smaller. So like certain landscapes were just entirely missing. Like certain geographical areas were just completely missing. The one
Like
that
you
I
said, the attention to
yeah
detail was pretty much,
Not
I guess, by the different artists. They just
Mhm.
decided to highlight what they wanted to highlight. And
right
it's
and
up to you
nobody
to keep
yeah
up, basically.
right
That's rough.
You gotta go to each different artist to pick out like fucking what level of detail that you want for the area. The only way it would be
Sadly.
is if you gotta shop around to every single artist and then compare their level of
And then,
life.
well, and then on top of that,
Mm.
the distances aren't even correct. Like the second edition Forgotten Realms maps were bigger
Oh,
and
you don't even
they
know
were
how much
they
like
were they were
yeah.
bigger in scale. Like you'd have you'd have point A and
It's
point
about
B,
resolution now.
and
Resolution
you'd have
is
point
huge.
A and point B, and the map will say, oh, these two are like 100 miles apart. You're like, damn, 100 miles, that's a distance. But then when they made the third edition maps, they truncated the world. They kind of shrunk it because so like and on the third
Mm-hmm.
edition version of the maps, point A and point B are now 30 miles apart instead of 100. So
Mm.
Simplicity.
yeah,
Simplicity.
they truncated, certain geographical locations. The biggest ones I noticed was like in Teether, because when I was DMing,
Cheetah.
it was driving me nuts, because when I was DMing Penthus and Darius and all that,
Mm-hmm.
they're located in a region of the world. What? Hurry up!
Gotta love the little one.
All right,
Did a little
they're
one.
Mhm.
I had them located in a part of the world where like I definitely noticed a difference. I'm looking around, I'm like, where's the Amlarandan Mountains? I'm like, "What are these mountains?" Like I see the mountains here in second edition. Look at the third edition. I'm like, there's a whole mountain range fucking missing. Where the fuck is this? I was getting mad because I'm like, oh
Adirondacks. Where
my
they at?
god, like this is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
on the Candlekeep forums, there is this one guy who goes by the name of Marcus K. He he loves
Hardest working fucking forum
loves
user.
he loves map making, and he makes some pretty good fucking maps. I've downloaded several of his already,
Mm.
but he made it like his own personal project to like make maps of like Faerun and try to fix things, like
Yeah, yeah.
put things that
Where they
should have
should
been
be.
there, and then add every site from every official, put all the sites from every official map that's out there all on one map. So
Imagine. Imagine someone
yeah,
actually pulled that off.
that's what I'm saying. I wish he kind of does it like and as little projects, like he'll do one section and then he'll do another, and then sometimes he does like he'll be like, oh, I did this map, but this place and this place are homebrew that's part of my campaign, so I put them on the map. Like he'll do shit like that. He hasn't done like a project of let me just make the whole map of Faerun and put
For people to just enjoy it.
and let
Yeah.
me put every single official location. I'm trying to still hope for somebody to come along and do something like that. That would be fucking great, but.
Yeah.
I'm stuck getting like 50 different maps pretty much. So on this map,
Yeah.
as you can see where I circled, again,
Mm-hmm.
Daggerford,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, this map has Crom's Hold. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because
They had to let everybody know.
I always thought that was an Age of Worms thing. So maybe whoever did this put that there, or maybe because I don't see Crom's Hold on any other Daggerford map except for this one,
Mm.
which is intriguing. But now okay, now you have a better. There's the Laughing Hollow in comparison to Daggerford. Um,
Okay.
Here's the Sword Hills. See, I didn't know these hills. These hills were different from the other hills from the other maps because that was also confusing. People were like, "Oh no, that's actually the southern part of the Forlorn Hills. That's actually not the Sword Hills. The Sword Hills are going to be actually so on this map you can see where the Sword Hills are
Mm.
at. In the other maps you don't know there's those Sword Hills. And then also I didn't even know there was a mountain nearby until I saw one of the maps. I think they mentioned about Mount Illithorn. I'm like, there's a mountain nearby. I'm like, I don't see it on this map. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. I'm like, I see a little site here saying Mount Illithorn. Now on this map, yeah, you can clearly see. Oh,
Right.
there is a small mountain range, very small mountain range that's to the east of Daggerford, and it's called Mount Illithorn.
Mm.
So um, so on this map, all the way up here,
The fuck is that? Uluvin? Oh, is that the?
Yeah, that's the town that she says what had happened there. It used to be just a sleepy crossroads town in the Delimbire Vale. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that was sparsely populated, um, typically avoided by most travelers and merchants because it didn't really offer much in the way of trade. Um, but it was a crossroads for several trails, such as the Iron Road and the Sacomba Trail,
Hmm.
along with trails that did lead into the Unicorn Run straight into the High Forest. However, um, what's the year? 1374. Last year, during the Draco Rage, um, there was a dragon by the name of Nervarim who had unleashed devastation upon the town and its citizens, leaving many of the dead and then many of the dead residents were raised as undead. So Halnora had,
Oh,
yeah, Halnora
so
had,
this guy went there to
he,
wait. So is this city still like?
yeah, for a while, yeah,
Oh,
there was still just undead just chilling there, and it was definitely something that Roth had heard about, and and he knew that like the church was doing what they can to handle it if they, when they could. And so, and now Helnor is telling him, she was part of that team that like would investigate and check in on the place and while they made plans to like try and clear the place out of any of the undead before, they got
that's a
to
Cullen. So
right. Um,
to go
how
there and just clean up the
how
place.
however, on her most recent trip,
Extermination, all of
she
you.
tells Helnorm on the most recent trip, on her most recent trip, she goes, I discovered something worrisome that the undead were cleared out. And now, sure, shouldn't be worrisome at first. Question remained who and what cleared it out because I had not received any word such a
Hmm.
thing happening. But
Damn.
Someone
surprisingly,
cleared it out, and you didn't hear
s-
word of
I
who
didn't
did it.
hear, yeah, she's saying she didn't hear a word of that, of like any sort of like raid or attack or anything being made on it. So she's like, all right, so the Church of Kalemvo didn't have anything to do with this. Who did? So she investigated further. She goes, I've heard rumors of some sort of exodus that the High Forest orcs were making and had been very secretive about it.
Damn.
Apparently, that exodus had the orcs moving further northeast into the Grey Peak, but one tribe in particular didn't go in that direction. It said, for some reason, this particular tribe moved moved westward. And it was those orcs that actually were the ones that came to Ulivin and cleared out the undead. As for why, I'm not sure. I know they've had magical help. Um, I know I've managed to learn eavesdropping on some orcs in the area that the chieftain has chieftain has a witch that's been guiding him to do this,
Mm.
a mate of his,
Mm.
and that now the orcs of this tribe are settling in that former town, taking their hold on it. I figure I'd let you know because just in case you may know of the tribe, since since from what I know you came from the High Forest region before you had moved to Waterdeep. But if you know anything about the Grimhowl tribe, that's who's
Mm.
occupying Uluvin right now.
Damn.
Oh, Nora, what kind of blasted information are you telling me? You expect to believe the Grimhouse have moved to Ulivin and made that their new base of operations?
So it appears, and they haven't exactly destroyed all the undead. Most of them they cleared out, but some they've kept on as if they were making them,
There's
as if they were making these undead to serve them.
only one person I would know is capable of such corruption. Do you have any plans to go there yourself?
Not anytime soon. I've collected what I could. These orcs here, this tribe, I know they had served a god that is only known to be given praise by the orcs of the High Forest, a deity known as Herney.
Herney.
Herney, son.
However, a hunter god, I assume.
Can
They
I use
seemed,
a
she goes,
religion check?
she goes, many of them did seem like hunters. They definitely had quite a number of animal companions. There's a lot of companions involving canines,
Damn,
which,
son.
which, yes, reminded me of immediately of you and Mockjaw. Judging from my inquisitorial
Except the
nature,
same breed as
that
Mockjaw?
no, not the same breed. Just like she's noticing like the
Same
similarities
theme.
between you and Mockjaw, and like due to my inquisitorial judgment, I take it this is your former tribe. I know you don't like to talk much about your past,
Mm,
but it seems to be
mm.
slowly making its way to the west and may haunt this region very soon.
Damn.
I understand that Herney was a chief deity amongst the tribes of the High Force orcs, but they weren't just flying flags or banners of Herney and the Grimhow. Their banners involved the Grimhow motif, Herney, and another symbol of a deity that us Kalemverites are anathema to, that of Yurtris, the White Hand.
Virtus? Virtus?
Yurtris, yeah.
Oh, let's talk more about that. I don't know if you want me to make in-game religion checks, but
I would say Roth knows. I mean, because Roth was part of the tribe. He knows about the deity Herney, and um, I would say definitely he knows some about Yurtris, because I think we had said that was one of the things he would do, and they would do it in Yurtris's name since Yurtris dealt with like the dead.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, that's the disgusting god
but what Roth is
disease.
probably because what Roth is surprised about is that Yurtris is more, from what Helnora is making it sound, is that Yurtris seems to be having more of an influence on the tribe than than ever before, and that could only be because of his mother,
Yeah,
who he knows was a human witch of one of the Uthgardt barbarian tribes that she had been exiled from due to her due to the due to their mistrust and anger of her magics, to which she had met your father and pledged her magical service to him in the tribe. And then at a future point, he became her mate. I mean, she became her mate. She
is
became
this
his mate.
Helnora? Is this
No,
Helnora telling the?
I'm telling you, Roth, like
Okay,
I'm flashbacks, like pretty much of
okay,
like
okay.
from his time there. Yeah, yeah, and but you know that's how his parents met.
Right,
Um,
right.
and mysteriously his other mates perished. Uh,
Hmm. He
mommy,
likes to
mommy,
break his toys.
mommy was quick to
Yep.
make sure she was number one. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fucked
like I
up.
may be human, but I'll be the best human you've ever had.
It's like some Galician Cal Drogo shit going on.
Right.
All right,
Um,
so
but yeah, that's the situation. She figured
mhm.
she you could tell from Halnor that like she kind of you could tell that she had her reasons for assuming, you know, she was spot on, of course. She's a fucking inquisitor just like him, so uh she had her reasons to come in straight to Roth about this with this information because obviously she believes with him he needs to know, and then on top of that he might have something to give to her to help like with what she and the rest of the Clemberites may need to know about the situation. Um, you know, what they need to know about the tribe. You know, as far as Roth knows, it's definitely uncharacteristic. Um,
Of the tribe.
some of the tribe and of his father. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely think that
yeah,
she's been inching
something
her way in to gain a
something
stronghold,
very
foothold in the family.
uncharacteristic, and that
She's guiding them into into Leuven to try to raise an
yeah
army. I'm sure.
that
All
definitely
right.
something's transpired to convince him to lead the tribe towards that region and take that, and particularly take Leuven over, and that and to have the Urtrus more at the forefront
Mhm.
means yeah,
Roth is
that's
like
definitely not good. He's like of all the deities, well, it's the one dealing with death and undead. It's like, oh great, something's going on. And Halnora
Roth
brings up,
is oh,
because
oh.
she, you know, she's got knowledge of religion. She knows about Urtrus. You know, she knows some facts about Urtrus. She goes, um, she goes, I hope, our hope is no. She goes one possibility that I'm thinking we should consider is either this is a coincidence or if this may have anything to do with the Age of Worms.
That is where my fears lie
Mm.
most. That she, mother, may have been uh may have been convinced by the who I guess the Ebon Triad would be the ones spreading the
The Evan Tribe is the one that's been, you know, trying to get people to join their cause in finding a way for Bane, Bale, and Merkel to merge together. And their belief is if they can bring about the Age of
don't
Worms
they?
to release
I,
the imprisoned god demigod Kius, that they can use Kius's divine power to be stolen by the Dark Trio, by Bale, Bane, and Merkel, and to use
they
Kius's
don't have
divine
anything to do with
energy.
the
They don't have anything to
Age
do
of
with.
Worms though.
They do have to do with the Age of Worms, but they're not servants of Kius.
It's just Norgelberger then.
It's what?
Well, they're more
Mark Wahlberg.
focused on Mark Wahlberg,
That's
Is it
Galarian. What
still?
the wrong character.
Oh right, right,
the?
right.
Um. No, so far your characters haven't come upon any like servants or cult members of Kius himself so
But it
far.
just seems to be other evil deities that are kind of like collaborating,
Um.
or at least
With the Ebon
like a league
Triad,
or an
yeah, it
arm of the
feels like
soul.
with the Ebon Triad, it's a heretical group. Because the churches of Bane, Bale, and Merkel, they they don't really have anything to do with the Ebon Triad. In fact, they all three of them think this shit is blasphemous with the Ebon Triad. They don't want to share their power with fucking anybody. The Ebon Triad is like, no, we want to create an overpower, one equal to Ao. And to do that,
Mm.
we believe, we've got these prophecies and this belief that been carried through the centuries that if we can get Q's divine power and merge it with bring about the Age of Worms, get Q's to come out and use Q's divine power to merge with the three gods, they can merge into one whole and become an overpower.
Okay.
Yeah,
And this is the motherfucker.
it's a crazy cult that wants to bring about an apocalyptic end that will be reborn in the image of this new overpower that they're trying to create. Um,
Since that has nothing to do with the Grimhouse and their efforts,
so if
yeah, it's definitely
yeah,
a place of interest. Roth is on the same page as Helm.
yeah, she's bringing it up. She's like, it's possible maybe the Ebon Triad
Thought I buried my
may have some
past with the
influence,
whole.
but she goes, she's like, I don't really see their hand in this. I see a possibility of other gods of the dead that may be interested in this Age of Worms situation.
Mm. Okay. Well,
At least, that's her. She doesn't know that for a fact, but like that's her hypothesis is that maybe Yurtris has learned about this Age of Worms and is interested in wanting to use his power for itself, for
mm.
Yurtris, and now Yurtris is like burning, is like basically metaphorically kicking the rears of their servants. Say, hey,
Yeah, let's get on this.
let's get on this
right,
and see, let's see what we could get out of this. Like
right.
if there's an imprisoned demigod of the undead, shit, let's fucking take that motherfucker's power.
Oh shit.
Now there is a cult of Kius, which, like I've said, this group has not yet encountered, but there is,
Mm.
with the Age of Worms involved, there's definitely going to be members of Kius that want to bring about the age to resurrect their god,
Mm, mm,
to bring their god into the world and bring about this
mm,
Age of
mm,
Worms for the sake
mm.
of Kius. They don't, they're not connected to the Ebon Triad, not connected to Yurtris. They are loyal to Kius.
They're the ones that are actually moving
Yeah.
this thing forward.
But your characters have not heard or have encountered any of them. Instead, you've been dealing with a cult that's purposely aiding the Kius situation, but for their own selfish,
She
for
was
their
popular
own.
as a motherfucker, bro. That's all I
For
know.
real, for real,
Shoot,
for real. That's why it's so like
you got a real life band named
frustrating
Sons of
trying to
Kius.
like trying to like get to like it's like who the fuck which one's the
I need to
who's the
find
real
them.
threat?
I
And
need to
then
find
you
their
just like,
music and listen to their music, see how it sounds.
oh, who's music?
There's a real life band that I think from the '80s. Um, they call their band the Sons of Kius, named
Okay,
after
okay.
Q. I posted the Wikipedia and
I
like
think I
earlier.
remember
Yeah,
seeing that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was named
Got a
specifically
YouTube.
after Q's from Dungeons and
I wonder if
Dragons.
they
So I was
played
like,
D&D too. That'd be dope.
what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Motherfucker has his own band. I,
He's so badass. There's fucking people following his like worshiping him in real life.
I didn't
Sons
even
of
know.
keys
I honestly did.
in their own way.
That was my first time realizing how old Hughes is in Dungeons and Dragons, like the game itself. Like
Mm.
I thought he was
Old as Declan?
I thought he was as old as third edition. I thought it was a third edition creation. I didn't know
Mm.
he came from fucking early second edition. I'm like, I haven't heard of him. Matt has. I mean, we played a lot of second edition. Neither of us had
Yeah,
heard of fucking Hughes.
pretty much.
We heard of Vecna
Mm-mm.
plenty of times, but not Hughes.
Right.
They were
That's
not
what I'm
pushing
wondering.
the Qs back then. Vecna had himself plus 2 artifacts, plus like a whole entire backstory that tied him to
They're doing everything.
Greyhawk. Like they did a lot with Vecna. They didn't do
Nah,
too much with Qs at all.
they're doing Matt. They're doing everything with Vecna, especially now with this Vecna adventure that's coming out for fifth edition.
Mm.
I read that shit, pissed me off.
Between that, the Magic the Gathering, and
Pissed me
Stranger
off because
Things, that motherfucker got mad
because
popular.
Yeah, Stranger Things made him even extra popular. Like
Wow, bro.
they've solidified Vecna as like the ultimate bad guy of Dungeons and Dragons entirely, like as a whole. Like
Mm.
that's what they're making it. He's like the Doctor Doom of fucking Dungeons and Dragons, pretty
Doom?
much.
It
The
made
Thanos.
sense.
The Thanos.
He has done some Doctor Doom shit. I
He's
think
done
he's one of the
he's
first
done
like
some
Dark
wild
Lords
shit.
to
So
go to Ravenloft and then escape it.
he, right after he escaped Ravenloft, the dude fucking tried to take over Sickle. Almost destroyed the lady.
Sigil? Damn.
Almost destroyed the Lady of Pain.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Vecna's it's fucking crazy. I don't know. This dude, they hyping him up a lot, and they doing it
Yeah.
At
again.
least
They're
it's for
doing it
good
again.
reason.
Then
They're doing.
they tied Vecna to Gratz, saying that how he's like it's possible like spawn of Gratz and shit. Like,
Oh
No,
my
no, no, no.
lord.
That was Ayuz. That was Ayuz the
oh,
old one.
I use
Yeah.
okay.
Grat likes to spread his seed to different worlds, hoping some of them become powerful enough to be gods, and then he takes advantage of them. Ayuz happens to be one of
That's some
Gratz.
king shit.
Gratz got children all over the fucking multiverse, and Watson's got a
Or
character that's
ego.
Watson and Pagan have characters that are two of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay, there you go. There you go. So
Wrath,
you guys
Wrath,
had so much. Y'all
Wrath and
guys had so
Sephiroth.
much fun with this damn game when y'all was younger. It's not even funny, bro. That's what
Yeah,
that
because
means.
it was really because like 3.5 and 3.0, like it was very lore heavy. So it allowed you to like create characters that are like
Part of the
entrenched
story
in
already.
the
Yeah.
story. Yeah, it wasn't as focused on mechanics because they had so much lore available. You could really like you create a character if you wanted to. You could really make them
But
like entrenched in the story.
I'm angry.
Mm.
I'm angry at the fucking adventure that they got with this Vecna thing that's happening because they stole my fucking idea. Stole the fucking idea.
Yeah,
My man's still
Hardcore
bitter.
stole it. Stole
Still
that
bitter
fucking
about it.
shit. I might as well say because I don't, people will be, why does it sound like the fucking? It's not. I've always had this
It's
in
mine.
my head. I just never got around to building it yet. I'm doing these fucking adventure paths. When I do my own shit, this was one of my fucking campaign ideas.
Damn, he
But
blames us. Stop.
no, I'm not blaming you guys and fucking.
If I wasn't doing these stupid adventure paths, baby.
Well, no. Well, I'm doing these adventure paths because it's less like work that I have to do,
Intensive.
so that
it's
Yeah.
I can actually work
yo.
on on the campaigns that I want to do.
Considering our
Mm.
lifestyles, like these adventure paths are definitely helping us out,
That's what I'm
man.
saying, yeah. But and on the side, I can like
No complaints from me.
slowly, on the side, I can slowly put my personal like adventure paths that I had envisioned that I wanted. I have two of them, in fact, in mind. I know
Mm.
one of them, Wizards of the Coast could never steal.
They could never.
They could never
Never say
steal it.
never.
No, no, I,
He's
I'm
like,
not.
it's still in my brain.
It's in my brain. I refuse to ever spoil this, but they could never steal this, and when I get around to it one day, you'll see why. You'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, Wizard of the Coast will never do anything like this.
All right.
The other one I have is the one that they're doing with the kind of like the. It's almost it's parallel to what they're doing with the Vecna one. They got this big Vecna adventure coming out where Mordenkainen,
Mordecai. That
Mordenkainen,
motherfucker.
Illustrial Silverhand, and
What?
and
the
um
Team up?
and
crossover.
oh and Igwil.
The
Um
the multiversal crossover.
right.
Mm.
So Igwil, Illustrial Silverhand, and fucking Mordenkainen. The three of them,
Mm.
um, they learned something that Vecna's about to do, and they need heroes that are capable of stopping him from getting this done. And what Vecna's doing is multiversal. Um, he's he's gonna do something with the multiverse. I can't remember the details of what, but the adventure involved. It's their first fifth edition high level adventure. Goes from like level 13 to 20 or whatever, and
Mm.
um,
Starts at 13. Mm.
these three powerful I mean, Mordenkainen, Illustrial Silverhand, and I'm surprised it's not Elminster. Illustrial Silverhand, Mordenkainen, and Igwil.
Equal.
Fucking Igwil is.
No idea.
she's fucking demon princess. Like that's she was trained by Baba Yaga. Like this Igwil is crazy powerful.
Mm,
Um, the three of them combine their magic into like three different. They combine according to the book. It's like apparently all three of them combined wish spells or something to something to that effect of that level of power. And the wish, the magic summons the PCs.
exploded.
That's their answer to Vecna.
Mm.
Other PCs that get summoned by their magic.
That's pretty
Um,
godlike. We
but yeah,
need
they got
heroes, heroes that can
so
save us from this
what they
world.
got to do is they got to try and stop Vecna. And in order to stop Vecna, the adventure takes. I'm so mad. The adventure takes the characters to different campaign worlds. It takes them to
Mm,
Dragonlance. It takes them to Dragonlance. It takes them to Ravenloft. It takes them to Forgotten Realms. It takes them to Greyhawk. It takes them to Planescape.
mm,
They go through the big. They takes them to Eberron.
Eberron.
Motherfuckers go through like 6, 7 different fucking worlds to try and stop Vecna, and I'm like,
Doctor
these
Strange shit.
motherfuckers took my fucking.
That's some Avengers shit.
That was one of my campaign ideas. Was
Mm.
you know to run a group that travels to each world, and like I was gonna have like I'm gonna have an
That
adventure
sounds mad
for like each
fun.
world, right?
Yeah,
Where you get to experience each setting, like oh, you get to experience like an adventure in Dark Sun, one in Ravenloft, et cetera, all to stop the big.
hmm
I didn't, you know, I didn't have an idea of who I was gonna have the big bad villain be, but they're doing the same exact thing, but their villain is Vecna, which
Mm.
makes sense. Because Vecna's
Yeah, so
OP,
whenever you
OP as
guys
fuck.
go on the D&D lore like tangents, I'm always like, damn, well, I can't say shit because I don't know shit.
Um,
I feel bad. I can only be impressed.
all right, so yeah, she relayed that information. So now, now Roth's got something on his mind now. Um,
Yeah, let's see how quickly he wants to go deal with it. Oh shit, let me stop.
but she goes, and when she learns from Roth that they plan on going to Waterdeep, it's a near point in the future. She tells him, have Mythor. Oh, she tells him, oh, that's good news. She goes, when when you do set off, have Mythor send me a message. I'll meet up.
No.
I'll meet up with you in Waterdeep.
Okay.
Um, so
Mm.
yeah, pretty much you you got her as your contact in Waterdeep whenever your characters go there.
That's
Um,
helpful. Elnora, your abilities to investigate and, and information gathering is second to none.
Mm.
I do thank you for bringing me this information. Past that I wish I could keep behind me. Seems like once again face not only my clan, but face the ones who lead them even further astray. There is a lot that is going on right now. I do feel personally inclined to investigate this. In fact, this is after the whole conversation about the blot, so fact, even now, uh, my allies prepare to investigate a cerebrotic blot in the marshlands, the lizard fen marshes.
Liz Marsh.
Um, Only I could split myself in two.
Mm.
I can only hope that I am not uh, indisposed for too long. Surely, if it is as we fear, or I fear, the Grimhowls uh, can and will become a problem that will be much more harder to manage by each passing day.
Mm.
And now that the undead are involved, there's no telling just how powerful they can get.
Mm.
Age of Worms is spreading. People who are afraid, looking for an easy way out, or maybe even enticed by promises of power. The orcs will begin to fill their ranks, and those that disagree, well, in death, they will still serve purpose.
Mm.
Well, we will see to it that we will gather more
I
information.
curse you, Honora, for bringing this to me.
Do
But it is
apologize
as
for
it
that, but
but it is as it it is as it will. It is what it is. I don't want to say that, but basically that's what he's saying. Essentially, it is
right.
what it may be, and um, we will do what we must. I will. I will send for you.
And I will see
Send
to
for
it.
you. I won't send. I will meet up with you when we're ready. I'll send for you. I'll send
And
an errand boy to go get
right.
you. I'm like, well, hold up. I don't know if I could do
She
that
goes,
today. I think she's higher ranked than me.
and I will see to it if the Clemborites can spare any more members to at least keep a lookout on Uluven and the Grimhouse. And should we receive word of any sort of advancement, he will be the first to know.
Mm.
For now, it looks like they're just settling.
They are no tribe to play with. My kin capable of of some clever and rather powerful battle techniques, especially with the canines that they uh, that they
Train.
that they raise.
Yeah.
In fact, we ran into. Wait, they were from a different tribe, right? The ones that we fought, the one that
Yeah, those were the skin tear orcs. Those were the
skin
ones.
tier.
Yeah, and those are the ones that was in the Sword Hills.
Okay, yeah, the skin tier. Okay, I was gonna try to report that. I don't know if I told that, but
Yeah.
essentially, gotta look out for these Grimhouse. I would send your best tracker to keep an eye on them and to be careful.
Mm.
We'll make sure the best of scouts that we
As
can
soon as I
muster are out
can,
there.
as soon as I can go there, I will. But there are some more pressing matters.
Indeed, I do find the Age of Worms also to be most pressing of all, especially after your report about the Born of Pius and what they're capable of. If even one of those ends up running around a place like this, chaos can ensue very rapidly, and the dead can easily reign if unchecked. They are a frightening and nightmarish type of undead. To
Never seen anything like it.
to be able to spawn monsters of their type so very quickly, it's frightening.
Talking about an apocalyptic end for this world. It very well could come to pass. Their numbers, the numbers that they could, the numbers that which they can, I wouldn't call it reproduce, but but yes, that is worrisome, and it seems fairly um fact back in the list of the lizard fen marshes. There was a whole room full of eggs that they were protecting, and it seems like there was an infestation. Several of the worms bursted out. Even one of their members' head exploded. And as he was walking around, talking even, and yet the worms were fully infested in his innards.
Mm.
Seems like those that are infected don't even know that they are and can risk, I guess, growing the larvae, and eventually one day dying immediately. I don't know what you call it. Spontaneous come death. Like, but yeah, it's terrifying, and we need to make sure we um that we do the final judge, the judge's work, and keep this great calamity at bay. Until next time, Honora,
Till next time.
Waterdeep.
Lucian,
Fucking monkey doesn't too. I'm dead.
I know,
Puncture just gets real low to the ground, like
I know,
almost
Lucian,
like a curtsy.
right? Lucian, she gives him a treat for departing,
Mm,
A treat.
Scooby snack,
a mockjaw treat.
mock Josh snack.
Um, Lucian, I'd say it was like a few days later that Bando does return.
Oh, look at
They
that, Bando still.
actually no, it was the same day as I think it was the next day actually. 'Cause he came back with Delphin. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, he
mm,
came back and he's getting the you can see that he's getting the shrine he's getting the Timora shrine set up for like a another night of people coming in to test their luck at games of
mm,
chance.
mm.
And he sees you in the chamber and um he goes, "Oh, Lucian,
Um,
it's good that you've he goes, it's good seeing you. I was worried if you and the others had managed to escape um managed to escape the Lizard Marsh and return."
oh, we
How's it
managed.
looking now?
We managed. So, I mean, you've seen it all.
Yeah,
Mm,
You've seen it all. You saw me get infected by that worm thing. What the fuck that is?
it's something that everyone should definitely be worried about. Although, unfortunately, a lot of people worry about other things or too concerned about things that don't ultimately matter.
Mm. He goes, speaking of, he goes, lately,
Hmm.
lately I've been hearing things, the blood's been calling me more and more lately.
Mm.
And it's getting harder to ignore.
Let me find out.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's like
Better
I'm
ignore it,
beginning to
bro.
have I'm beginning to have
Hmm.
like a need for more. I need to understand how far this goes. And I don't know. I'm afraid I'm a little too curious about it.
That's the temptation of the corruption that's within you. And you've been doing your best to hide it off, but it's sounding like you need more help. Definitely magical help. Unfortunately, I do not possess the kind of divine power to wash clean away this corruption that's within.
Mm,
And judging from where you received this corruption, the origin of its source, it must be very strong indeed. For that pool of dark and tainted waters of magic and necromancy and conjurations that's that was being used to create an aspect of a being that the Ebon Triad wishes to see in existence.
mm.
I
Or
understand that
beings.
the corruption would be it needs to be dealt with at some point very soon before it overtakes you completely. But I can also see that a lot of it is dependent upon your willpower against it.
Mm,
You have me and you have your allies to guide you in making sure that it doesn't progress any further.
that's just the thing. It's something about being with them that makes me want to do more.
Well, I'm gonna guide you,
There's
all right.
something about
Guide
there's
you to the
something
crystal
about
city, my
I will shoot that dog in the fucking face if you don't calm down, nigga. Try me.
Peter,
Fuck, don't
get
even do
Peter on the
anything. Like, hey,
line
yo,
right
fuck
now.
that dog.
Get Peter
Hey,
on
yo,
the
fuck that
line.
dog.
Kill you and that dog. Nah, I'm fucking around.
That's so funny.
um,
Come with
Roth,
me, Lucian. I'll show you the way.
yeah,
You got me picturing Roth walking into the shrine of Timora, and he just does that shit like out of nowhere because he overheard.
I'll guide you to the crystal city. Yo, I don't really want to like. This is Matt talking right now.
right. Yeah, I don't want that
I just
either.
want to see us go. Like, I want to see it go down like that. I really do. I really do. In character, of course not. Rob looking out. But I kind of feel like that'll be a crazy turn of events, right? Like,
Right?
I didn't think
We
I would
should
have
just
to
turn
start
into a full
hunting one of my
vampire.
own.
Right?
Seeing you tearing up the sea, someone's gotta put that boy down.
Oh
I'm sorry. It's
no.
just why
Oh
do you have to go
no.
be undead, bro?
I turn into fucking Dracul and shit. Turn into Dracula. Oh, that'd be
Oh
great.
man, I want to see it so bad, bro.
But yeah,
Can you still shoot guns if you fully undead? Like if you turn for real, you done? Like, are you
um,
Well, if he's
only
totally
claws
no,
and bite now?
no,
Like, boy,
no, no,
mm-mm.
you
he
can
would
still
he would
shoot
have
guns.
no, he would have his class levels and everything.
I would
Oh
just be
shit!
a full
Yeah,
ass vampire.
he a
So you talk
vampire
about some straight up Alucard
with
shit, some
with the
Helsing
fucking
shit.
class levels on there. Yeah, Vandal
All right,
Yeesh.
goes.
I'm gonna start preparing now.
Vandal goes. I have. Vandal goes. I have full faith in Timora that luck and fortune will continue to serve you, and before the day comes that you fall completely prey to life of vampirism, that you and your friends will find a way to reverse it, if not cleanse it.
Mm, I don't know.
Until then, though,
Yeah.
because
Do you feel lucky, punk?
until then, it is wise to resist it as best as you can, because the the more you choose not to, then the more you're making that choice instead of time itself.
Mm. Lucia nods. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Damn,
Have
poor
you heard
Lucian.
from? And he goes,
Has he told Bando about like the situation with like his dad or no?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well yeah, so Bando, so like he talks to him like a confessional pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
Kind of like
like,
How Daredevil was going to church. He was like, "Oh, Father,
Father,
this is yeah,
forgive me, I've sinned.
this is
right,
Lucian's
please,
confessionals."
you know, confessionals of Tamora.
Right. Well, yeah, he's like, Timora, she favors the bold
Mm,
and the brave.
mm.
She is a goddess of adventurers. So,
Mm,
True.
she goes. I mean, he goes. Oh man, I had it in my head what he was gonna say. Oh, that's right. So he goes. From what you've told me, I don't think you would want the same exact fate that your father had to suffer. A fate that he didn't choose. Just like just like the situation you're in now. The difference
mm,
between you and your father was you have
Had
friends
a choice.
that
Oh, okay, sorry.
you have friends that care for your well-being and for this corruption to be absolved, and your father didn't.
he had a family though.
He didn't use that family though.
He had a family though. He loved me. My father loved me.
I believe that, and it is why he stayed as far away from you and your sister as he could until
Mm,
he finished his mission. But unfortunately,
That's fucked up.
that mission
right.
had ended
Don't let a villain
prematurely.
hear that shit. He twists the shit out of that, yo. You are the reason why he couldn't come back home. You! Because you were weak.
Right. And
If you were strong,
Well, yeah. Well, what?
maybe
No, I
then
mean, what
you
he's
would.
getting at with Lucian is like his
mhm,
father didn't have anybody. Like, yeah,
right,
he was
right,
protecting his kids, but the kids couldn't help with him.
right,
His kids was motivation, but not his salvation. But not his salvation. That's what he goes. He goes.
right.
He goes.
Bars?
You and your
Hello?
sister
Oh,
was
there
you
you
and your
go.
sister were his motivation, but unfortunately, you were not his salvation.
Mm.
Bando bars. Be here all week.
He goes, but you
Mm,
have what he doesn't have. I know that
He
is
was
a
like, what's in
way.
this drink?
That is a way towards salvation from this corruption. I would
mm,
use the gifts that you have now And as a last resort, maybe through your sheer will, if it is a last resort, for reasons such as defending you and your allies,
Damn,
if you
tap
believe,
into it.
all right,
Lean
yeah,
in,
I
nigga.
mean,
That's crazy, son.
Mm.
he's saying
He
try your,
said, lean in.
he goes, try your luck.
Ooh, ah. My dude about to change on purpose.
He's like, try your luck, but luck is fickle.
Oh
Mm.
shit.
It's
It
not always gonna
is.
be there.
It
You'll let him
is.
know.
It is. Tamura is
Make a gamble.
she's a tricky lady. And you see Lucian tosses 50 gold pieces in the pond. He makes his prayer to Tamura. That's my little blessing for
Hmm.
the next trip.
All right. And he goes, I've got, tells you he's got some wares if you need it. He sells
Mm.
religious shit. He's got a few scrolls and potions and
Hmm.
yeah, he's got
What's he got on him? What's he got on him? What's he got? Can't buy anything, but
I mean he sells stuff that, I know, yeah, he just, he sells stuff that uh clerics would have in their like temples or their shrines to like sell to others.
mm.
Um so um
All right. Well,
but all
All
right.
right.
And so
We'll
we
reconvene next week.
reconvene next week with
in
a
the cerebriotic block.
trip to the Laughing Hollow,
Mm-hmm.
and then after the Laughing Hollow,
The
possibly
cerebrotic
a
block.
trip to the Subrotic
Shit sounds
block,
wild.
and then after
Back to
that
the main
will
quest.
I wonder
be
how fast we can clean that shit up.
after that towards the Water Deep. You guys are traveling all around.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So,
gents.
although the Laughing Hollow, oh my God,
Oh boy.
that mm, that event might. Mm, we'll see.
Uh-oh.
We'll see if the cerebrotic blot thing will happen. We'll see.
Stop
Damn.
playing.
This man is playing too many games, bro.
Laughing hollow.
You're
He
like, damn, what
said,
could Angelo learn that would
what could
tame
possibly
his that would distract him?
I think Lewis
It
had a
might, or might
freaking
not.
epiphany.
It depends. I'm
That
curious.
dude had an
I'm curious
epiphany.
myself how it would. Either way, I got to be prepared for whatever choices are made.
Damn right, you need to be prepared. This
Y'all
nigga's
gonna see
chaotic neutral,
Luna's new
bro.
familiar.
Wasn't prepared. I wasn't fully prepared for this one because
All right.
I was.
You know
Maybe
what? That's how I was
Pichardo
feeling
was
too, man.
actually here. Maybe he himself would have had Sophia. Maybe convince Adler, hey, let's do this shit in Waterdeep real quick, and then we'll come back to the Lizard Marsh. Something along those lines. I don't know, but I got stuck having to make my
I think you
best.
made the best decision.
Yeah, my best. You know, surmises of what Sophia would say. Um, but,
Better
'cause
not retcon.
she has to consider her
Charlie gonna come back next week and be like, no, no, no. Luke's gonna be like, all right,
well,
so I guess you have to have
or
that
she's a paladin.
conversation
She's a
over
paladin, and
again.
Mistra that has followed the orders of the Mystic Fire Knight. So I had to consider that as like her topmost thing. Like that's she's a paladin. That's she's got to follow that. Like I don't see her. I don't see her breaking her paladinhood even for an ally. I mean, she would be tempted to. It depends on the situation, but she I had that as like her motivation. Like
Mm.
her thing is like I really gotta yes, the cerebrotic blot thing could possibly have to do with like very well likely has to do with like possibly corrupting this world and the weave, and I don't want that shit happening, and I don't think the Mystic Fire Knights would either. But this Age of Worms thing going on with the Ebon Triad and the undead. I don't want undead fucking swarming all over the place. Um, as a even as a paladin in the mystery, I'm a paladin. Like I gotta stop evil where it's at.
Mm.
Yeah, paladins. That's the number one thing. They stop evil, even though they serve different gods. One serves a god of justice, one serves a goddess of magic. One, um,
Mhm.
they'll have their duty for like, okay, a paladin of Mystra is going to be involved with a lot of evil concerning magic, but ultimately they got to deal with evil. So like, if there's fiends running
Mm.
around nearby, they're not going to be like, oh, well, my
Doesn't
duties
have
are
anything to
to
do with magic.
right. My duties are to
Right.
see with this wizard that's destroying, that's damaging the weave. No, they're gonna be like, I'm not just gonna leave people getting slaughtered by fiends. I'll deal with the wizard later, but I'm gonna go fuck these fiends up. So,
They seem stuck between a very fine line.
but that's really the only difference with paladins and their gods. Like you're gonna see, a paladin of justice. You're gonna see them bounty hunting. They're gonna be like, all right, what criminal do I gotta go after next?
Mhm.
But if somebody comes up and they're like, "Oh, hey, we need your help. Like, we're going. There are these monsters that are rampaging over here. We need you." He'll be like, "All right, I gotta hunt this guy down, but I'm not gonna leave these people defenseless like that. Let me go handle these monsters real quick."
Mm.
So, like, yeah, they're
Hmm.
lawful. They're lawful good, and they're paladin. They serve a They serve a specific deity, and they have to, they do their best to uphold, to represent their deity, the lawful good portion of their deity.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's Sophilia's situation. She's like getting spread thin. She feels the same way as Roth. She's like, I wish there was two of me because I'd have one go to what it'd be, but I'd one go to Laughing Hollow and one go over here with the cerebrotic blot. So,
Uh. There was only some magic. Wink, wink.
Wink.
but yeah, we reconvene next week and with Pichardo. Um,
Yeah.
I'll tell him to check the video so he can see what went down, so
All
we
right.
can catch up. And alrighty.
Some
I'm
good
sure he'll
RP.
enjoy that
All
while he's
right,
at
gents.
Orlando's. All right, y'all.
All
Have a
right,
good night,
guys.
y'all.
All right,
GG's.
man. Y'all have a good night,
All right,
man. Good
y'all have a good
session.
night.
Later. I want to play my 7th level sheet, man. Just kidding.
All right.
I can be
So
patient.
close.
Yeah, I know. I just it feels like every time we do these downtime things, I'm just like, Lewis just be teasing us, bro. Like he'd be like, "All right, time to get a session," and you have to wonder, is it this session that I get to? Is
All
it
right.
this? But honestly, it's not his fault. We definitely could have had that 7th level love today. But certain somebody had to turn back the hands of time. So good, so good. All right, good night, man.
All right, have a good night. One more hour and that's it. Why you gotta look? Can't see the password. But yeah, glad Gitster 126. Glad you could like you were. I don't know how much of the session you caught, but but yeah, I run a session on Tuesdays for Pathfinder. Um, at the same time, I put down 10 o'clock Eastern. We show up at as best we can at 9:30, not Eastern, 9:30 Central. But by the time people get together and we actually start, it's usually closer to like 10 Central that we actually start. But I do log in at about 9:30 Central. Um, but yeah, I got Pathfinder First Edition. We're doing Rise of the Rune Lords on Tuesdays, and we have on Thursdays, same time, we do a D&D games. Um, for we're doing Age of Worms set in the Forgotten Realms, and catch what Tuesday was. Yeah, yeah. Most of the players for both groups are the same. I'd say for Tuesdays, I have two. For Tuesdays, I have two players that are not in this group, and then in this group, I have one player that's not in the Tuesday group. He would have loved to have been in the Tuesday group, but he couldn't do it. Um, considering sort of the fact that we're all adults with responsibilities, unfortunately, like the best times we can play is like middle of the fucking night. So, and a lot of us sacrifice our sleep, which we don't mind. As long as we get some games in, we don't, I don't care about going to work with just 2 hours of sleep. Shoot, it rather do that than not game at all. But yeah, yep. Um, Surprisingly, both groups are around the same level. I wasn't expecting that. They both hit level. Both groups have hit level 7. Um, um, the Pathfinder Tuesday group just finished the second chapter. They actually just began the third chapter. Um, there's a total of 6 chapters, and they're on the third one. So once they're done with the third one, they'll already be halfway through the campaign. For this group, we've got 12 chapters. And at the moment we're doing sidetracks too. Um, as in we're doing stuff that's not exactly part of the adventure. It's like side quests in an open RPG. You got the main storyline, but then you can choose to leave and do like other storyline side stuff. Like that's basically what's happening now is the groups are instead of going to Waterdeep, which is the main storyline, they're deciding to do some personal stuff for their characters on the side. Um, the summoner wants to go back to the Lizard Marsh where they just came from because he discovered a cerebrotic blot, which is like a sort of opening, a tear in reality that leads to the far realm. And because there's like a connection to the far realm and the material world. It's corrupting the land around it. And then like a few miles, it's like a radius of a few miles. And what the summoner wants to do is because the summoner's into far realm, yeah, is he's really interested. He wants to go there and see the cerebrotic blot. He wants to go straight to the core and see it and to harness its power. Um, he And so, he was planning to go by himself, but the group was like, no, 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 we'll go with you. So we're going to be doing that side trek um, next week. But the witch also has her own thing where he was told that her mother has left something for her at their old cottage in the Laughing Hollow, which is a place nearby the city that they're in. So she wants to go there and see what it was that her mother had left for her because the witch is learning things about her past she didn't know about. And she's curious, like what the hell's going on? she always thought her mother had betrayed her. Then she just recently found out that wasn't the case. She also recently found out that the um, a famous wizard in Daggerford named Delphin, who's been kind of helping the PCs out here and there, and he's been like their source of information and he's mentored the two of the characters. He's got them into a magic guild. She's come to find out that her character's come to find out that that's the father. Um, so her character's pretty raw in her emotions. She's young. I think she's 17, and um, she's very troubled. We'll say that. Um, but yeah, so she wants to go there, and the group agreed to go there with her. So it's next week. The first thing that's going to happen is the group is going to go to with the witch character and go to um, the cottage that her and her mother grew up in when she was a child. Um, and she's going to see what it was that her mother had secretly left for her. There are some truth to some knowledge about her, about something with the past and what's been going on. And then after that, the group's going to go with Adler, with the summoner, and they're going to go with him to the Lizard Marsh and go to the Cerebrotic plot area, and they're going to do with that. There's a ritual that he wants to do, and after he performs the ritual, it's going to give him this. It's going to give him new magic. It's dangerous magic. Um, but it's new magic. It's magic of the far realm that his character's into like the far realm shit so much, pretty much like D&D Lovecraftian type shit. So he's going to be doing that, so he can get uh, so he can increase his magical powers and his understanding of the far realm. And when that one is over, then the group is like, all right, the group is going to go to Waterdeep to where they're originally supposed to. They're supposed to go to Waterdeep, meet with this wizard named Dagsum, who's supposed to give them some information that he's been collecting about the god Kius and the spawns of Kius and and the Age of Worms. So they need to go there and speak with him and get some information from him. And that's pretty much what's going to be going on for the next several weeks. Um, Once they go to Waterdeep, that'll be the beginning of chapter 4, and I believe chapter 4 and chapter 5 both are in Waterdeep. So they're going to be in Waterdeep for a while once they get there, for a pretty long while. Um, I forgot where chapter 6 goes. I think chapter 6 I know chapter 6 I don't believe they're in Waterdeep anymore. I believe they have to go south to go. But I'll worry about that when they get there. But all right. Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by and watching, and you'll be seeing more of this campaign every Thursday. And if you're interested in the Pathfinder one, we got that on Tuesdays. Um, if you're already a follower, cool, thanks. If not, if you hit the follow button, that'd be great. And catch you catch you either Tuesday or Thursday.